You're about to step into a $98 billion industry, 20 billion of it being residential services and poised to growth. The best way to predict your future is to create it, mostly attributed to Lincoln. And the secret of getting ahead is getting started. The secret of getting started is breaking down complex, overwhelming tasks into small, manageable chunks and starting on the first one. And that is attributed to Mark Twain. This video is crafted for solo cleaners looking to dive into 2024 with a business that could be their main income or side hustle. There's plenty of opportunities that await with personalized services such as flexible hours and income, plus the chance to scale and operate locally. Tax write-offs, including home office, business trips, gasoline, maintenance, lunches, phone and internet, and the list goes on and on. So there's not many reasons for you not to start if you were contemplating about it. And this video will break this down more for you. And the very first step is getting started. So we're gonna go over a little boring tedious part that is must, because that's how you get your groundwork laid off. And then we're gonna dive into more fun stuff and the actionable plans, including self-care, which is super important, especially when you are solopreneur. Planning which means you start by identifying your niche. And if you're going into a solopreneur, something tells me that either you don't want to manage too many people, or you don't have a truckload of money sitting to hire a lot of people and tapping into a commercial industry. So therefore, logically, if you're like me when you're starting out, then you want to start out small, which is very reasonable, because first you want to start small, bare bone, show traction, build your confidence, build your clientele, and then keep growing. That's what I did. I started as residential, and if you're like me, then that's probably is the best choice for you. But even when you think about the tree trunk that goes residential and commercial, then from there it splits up to many other branches, which is carpet cleaning, power washing, window cleaning, gutter cleaning. So the list goes on and on. So this is where you need to do your research and identify where you want to go. For me, it was easy. What I wanted to do is just get started, because I didn't know if my concept would work, so I needed that, and I didn't want to spend too much money. So therefore, what I did is I went to my janitorial closet, literally opened it, and I looked at it. Had a beat up residential vacuum, had cleaning supplies that I was using in my house. Many of us, pretty much every one of us, know how to clean. So I knew how to clean, but I didn't have any specialty knowledge such as carpet cleaning, shampooing, stripping, waxing, etc. So therefore I said, okay, what can I do with things that I already have in my possession? Then I start offering deep cleaning, recurring cleaning, one-time cleans, appliance cleans, move in, move out, post-construction cleaning, because post-construction cleaning, rough cleans, final clean stages, and etc. But it doesn't require too much stuff to get started or specialized knowledge. I just needed a blade to tape off, like to scrape off the windows, and then some chemicals such as goof off and etc. that I needed to acquire, but it wasn't a big investment that I needed to get started. And that's what you're doing, because you are smarter than me. In 2024, you're doing your research before you get it started, unlike me who just dived in, which means your chances of success are higher and going up. Planning is bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it now. Time equals life. Therefore, waste of your time is waste of your life. Once you master your time, you master your life. And this is Alan Lakin's quote, and I really love it. So time equals your life. Master your time, you master your life. Get started sooner. Once you have figured out, and this is the planning stage, a slightly boring stage, once you've figured out which services you're going to offer, you need supplies. And to do that, don't rush again. Be more like me. If that's a compliment, then use what you already have. There's the link on my website, which links directly to Amazon site for the list of supplies that I would buy. But don't buy them all. Don't buy any specialty. Just buy what you have just to get your feet wet and see if you can do it, if this is good for you, if you even like it, right? You might get customers, you might be really good at it, but maybe you like, oh, sorry, cleaning is not for me. So line up your essentials using that Amazon list, but stop, like hold your horses from purchasing them immediately. The next thing would be legal, and you want to register your company. You want to have a company to pay, especially if you decide to start working with property management, construction companies, homeowner associations, corporations, but people, then they will all require W-9, so you can provide the corporation information, insurance, and etc. So therefore, and it's good, right? It's a good practice. You're separating yourself from the company, and now the company is separate entity, so it protects your liabilities, it protects your personal story, personal history, your assets. So, and it's good, right? For business, it's legal. That's how it should be operated. You can start a company yourself. It's not expensive. Go to the state website. In the state of Maryland, if I'm not mistaken, it's like $155 right around there to register yourself, and then you will need the EIN number, which is employee employee identification number, also known as tax identification number, and that's free. So you just go to IRS website and pull out yourself. Consult with your CPA and legal professional, because each are different. Mostly I see LLCs being created. That's a healthier balance between the liability as well as the protection, corporate protection and tax write-off that it gives. But consult with your CPA. If you don't have one, as far as the legal consultant, because they get expensive, I'm pretty sure you know somebody who can do the taxes and advise you on that. But as far as legal, there's services such as Legal Shield and etc. that are monthly, month to month, and then you can pay them. It requires for you to do a little bit more work, meaning they don't do the work for you. If you want them to do work for you, that's like you looking at $300 to $450 an hour to pay somebody to do that. But or you can get it done for like $40, $50 month to month agreement. If you don't like it, you can cancel it. I'm referring to Legal Shield. So you put the template, go to ChatGPT. I actually have a video how to do that. Go to ChatGPT, create the content, make sure you have specific clauses such as non-compete, liquidated damages clause, and etc. Then you have a template based on your state. Go get the Legal Shield lawyer to look at it. He or she will tell you what needs to be tweaked. Then you tweak it, and voila, you've got the software. If you do 1 or 2 rounds, then that's what you do. But at least you have a program, like meaning the document, the contract, which is compliant with your local jurisdiction, and it protects you. That's what you want ultimately. The contract will come handy when people won't pay you. That's or when they will refuse to pay you. And this is where you want to enforce it. And that's hopefully you won't have as many, but pretty much my words, if you're in the business long enough, there's literally no avoiding, unfortunately. But let's stay positive this, because if you have all your ducks in a row, which we had, and should your customers not pay you, your chances of collecting that money goes up. And then while at it, get your contracts together with your customers. And even if you know the client for a while, do not do work on a handshake. And trust me, your future self thank me for it, because should shit hit the fan, that's when people refuse to pay. When they don't pay, now you're upset, now you court and all the other stuff. So do yourself a favor and savor that relationship by providing contract from the get-go. I've got uncollected debt in tens of thousands that even when we won in a court, now we had to find a skip tracer to find the person's assets, and it's just nightmare. Even just to be able to withdraw from there when you find there, it's just something you don't want to deal with, especially when you're just starting out as a solo cleaner yourself. So once you have that done, the next thing you want to do is get your insurance. And for insurance, I would recommend getting general liability insurance from the get-go. On average, you're looking $50-$60 a month. That'll be a yearly contract, like $600 or so. Reach out through ansimpact.com if you want me to put you in touch with the insurance agents and or other trades that you need help. My intent is to help here. Workers' compensation, you are likely not needed in the state of Maryland if you're sole proprietor. If you're one person who's working, that you don't have to carry it. And when you're not sole proprietor now and you're growing, you can opt yourself out from it and get the workers' compensation for your staff. So therefore, I would have the workers' compensation ready so you can start bidding on larger jobs that are more profitable, such as construction companies and etc. And we got the contracts done. Now you would want to get your templates set up. And those are, I have them on my website for free under tools and resources, ansimpact.com. And those are like your emails, how to increase the email proposal template for your proposals for your email, stuff like that. The communication templates, how you communicate with your customers, reminder emails, and etc. You want to make sure that you have them. Financial management will be next thing that you need to take care of. And that's now, as you're becoming a solopreneur, your job is to be able to run a business lean. So which means when you have funds or funds are coming in, you're not spending them as you were spending alone, because here now you have business responsibilities and obligations to meet. And that skill will be so helpful for you as you grow, because as your company grows, it's two things, right? One, you should be able to bring money in, like new customers, and execute and deliver on your promise. And number two is you should be able to keep as much money as you can to accumulate. Otherwise, if you bring 100 here and spend 110 here, then you're minus 10. So therefore, you need to learn how to run the business lean and start utilizing bookkeeping softwares. Some companies such as Zoho Books have, if I'm not mistaken, as entry tiers that are available for you to get started at no cost. So you want to get that. We use QuickBooks Online. We've been using them for a while. I think they're overpriced. I don't think there's a need for somebody who's solopreneur starting a cleaning company in the beginning just to sign up for that software. So once you have that, we're almost done with the boring part. The next is systems. And systems would be you're learning how to automate stuff, because you're a solopreneur. You're one person, one cleaner who's doing the work. Now you need to automate as much as you can, such as follow up with your emails, invoicing, increase letters, ability to manage keys and codes for customers' facilities, because now you're gonna have the access for them and you need to keep them track. Because like if you lose it, look, if customer gives you a key and then you lose it and it's a master key, then now you're obligated to rekey all of the other keys for the clients. You really don't want to do that. That can get expensive. For that, by the way, you can add the lost key insurance if you'd like to your insurance package. I actually have a separate video about insurance and basics, which you need to know when you tap into cleaning. If you haven't watched it, watch it, but after you finish this video, so we're staying focused about productivity. And we're going to talk about productivity in a little bit, including the Pomodoro effect, how to keep you focused and actually on task, delivering and crushing through the tasks. So the next would be branding and online presence. So now we're going into more fun stuff. Here you want to create your logo, business cards, and website. If you don't know those skills, then you want to find somebody from Upwork or Fiverr, or contact me and see if I can put you in touch with the freelancers that I've used. I'm actually sign up for my newsletter. I'm creating this community where I can exchange those freelancers, have them serve broader audience. Those are the ones that actually work outside of the country. So you're not paying the inside of the country rate, you're paying outside of the country rate, and they've been tested by me and or my brand or company, which means we've went through so many bad relationships, so we can save you good relationships. So if you don't know that, you want to do that. CMS is probably something you want to use. Content management software such as WordPress or Joomla, Drupal, those are nice to create a website if you want to do it yourself. Digital marketing. So you want to leverage 7-11-4 rule, which is super cool rule, and that means before somebody takes an action with your brand, they must consume 7 hours of your content, like 7 hours, literally. Like each time they see you, it adds up and goes in a piggy bank. They should likely encounter you 11 touch points. So meaning like they should hear from you here, like a social media message, a phone call, email, a mailer, etc. like 11 times and in 4 different places. So it's not just one place. So they have to keep encountering you in different places, but don't get overwhelmed. I've got a separate video for that as well. In there, what we want to do is break down the elephant into smaller pieces and then focus on a marketing channel one. But then again, that's a video for your entertainment and educational pleasure, should you decide to watch it after this. Next is acquiring customers. If you cannot acquire customers, then you cannot grow. No business can survive without customers. And remember, when you acquire customers, you will be losing some customers as well. Not only because your service is not cool or they don't like it, but life circumstances may change. People may move out, may lose job, may go on vacations, and etc. And that's one of the things that will happen with solopreneurs, especially those doing residential jobs a lot. People will be canceling on you last minute. So for you, it's good to identify whether you want to implement policies like, hey, first time 24 hours notice, I'm happy to do that, but next time I have to charge, or I will just have to charge you from the get-go. Or some people are like, no, I'm flexible, that's okay, you know, they schedule, I get a day off. So whatever it is, then you implement those, make sure it's in your service agreement, and then your clients know about this, because last thing you want to do is imagine your customers went on vacation, but you didn't go because you had those jobs scheduled and you didn't take a vacation and decide to stay, and then a bunch of them leave, and then what? It's like you don't have money, you don't have experience, so it kind of sucks. You probably don't want that. Therefore, kind of think about this now when you're starting. As far as getting your very first customer, super really cool, effective technique is you want to go and collect all of the contacts you have from all of the social media that you have, like Instagram, Facebook, wherever you have a lot of them. So you go and scrape them, LinkedIn, you go and scrape them. You go in your email, you take all of your contacts, you open your phone, and you take all of your contacts and you compile. Now you have a list of 3,000 people or so. So then you start outreaching to them slowly, but yourself. And I know like there's the fear of getting rejected, but hear me out. Here's the technique which will allow you not to be intrusive. So when you go to them, you do ACA approach, acknowledge, compliment, and then ask. And what happens is like, hey, you go to someone and like, hey, Sarah, I see you've moved and you have babies. Super cool. Like I can't even imagine, can't wrap my head around how you do this. Speaking of which, in your area, I'm starting my home cleaning services. So after acknowledging, complimenting, now you're going to ask, do you happen to know anyone who might be interested in my services? And by doing this, what you're doing is letting this person know that, hey, you're not like buy my service, you're not in their faces. So they will either ignore you if they don't like you or they don't remember you, and that's okay. You're gonna get a ton of no's. So get your skin ready to that. And remember, they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting your offer, or they just don't remember remember you, whatever it is, but it's not you. Don't take it personally. You have to get a lot of no's. The more no's you have, each no will get you closer to next time getting a yes. Or they will say, yeah, by the way, perfect timing. I actually have a friend. Let me put you in touch with them. Or they'll say, sweet, I love it. I got so busy with job and kids. Can you give me a quote? So perhaps you pick up a business from them. So that's a good thing. You want to go to a social media, and in social media, what you're doing is you're building a social proof. And that is mostly before and after photos, because people like an instant gratification. Like there was a dirty spot and then you cleaned it and it's clean now. And it was all fingerprinted appliance and then you wiped it off and it's shiny equipment. So people like stuff like that. And testimonials, that's a social proof saying that you're actually giving a blessing and a privilege to somebody to be second. And this is so powerful if you think about it. When somebody goes first, that's like, I don't know how it's gonna work out. But if you were second, third, fourth, now you know that other people tried it and it worked out for them. So that's why you want to use the testimonials. And then the content you're creating, instead of saying like, hey, hire me, I'm the best cleaner, hire me. People numb for it nowadays. Instead of that, what you want to do is provide useful information. It's like, this is how you clean the surface. This is how you can go green cleaning. These are the effective techniques. Remember, don't be afraid to give away the knowledge, because people won't pay for knowledge. I mean, knowledge, they do pay, right? Like there's some gurus that are selling a lot of information, knowledge on paid, but knowledge, if you think about it, it should be very accessible. It's the implementation you might be able to sell to people. So teach them more. And then look, if somebody else does it and then they're grateful, then what just happened? You just got a check mark up above whatever the higher power you believe, because you helped somebody to solve their problem. So either way, you winning. And if they share that content of yours, then even more win. So that's all good. Networking is really cool thing that you want to focus on. Attend local events and connect digitally at the same time, because like they're like local events such as Chamber of Commerce, BNIs, and etc. Construction networking groups you can go to in person, but there's also like Facebook groups, communities where you can connect with people as well. And when you do that, don't go to like a Facebook group of cleaners advertising cleaner because everyone else is their cleaner, they're not your customers. Instead, find those groups of people who are your ideal customers. Pick a niche. If those are property managers, go to property manager groups in Facebook and participate and give them value. And then you'll see how it will start reciprocating. Digital marketing strategies would be, you want to utilize like SEO, which is huge. That's inbound marketing. That's a search engine optimization, PPC, pay-per-click campaigns, which means you go on top right away. But if done, it'll bleed your budget a lot, which has happened to me. Google local ads, you can purchase the ads and they'll connect you with them. 1 or 2 ads will pay off for like a couple of months off the ad spend, if you think about it, because your business is recurring. You get one customer and they pay you every month, but here you only paid for 1 lead. So as long as the source is legitimate, that's okay to pay for leads. That's not okay to pay for leads when you pay for lead thinking that you're the only person who's paying for lead, and that company is unethical and sells it to other people too because they want more money in their pocket. But that's when you lose. But if you find services that are ethical and you only are the person you know that you're getting that qualified lead, then paying for lead is good. Google My Business, also known Google Profiles if I'm not mistaken now, that's a great place to actually go and advertise because it shows closest. So remember, when you do that, make sure you're search engine optimized and you get the reviews. If you pay attention, when you put plumbers near me, for example, it'll show the plumbers that are near you and then they lined up with the ones that have nicer reviews. So Google's algorithm is doing that. So the more reviews you're able to extract from your customers, the better it is for you to get new customers by providing social proof that you know your services and that person who's coming into you now is not the first one. Someone else tried and they already know and told them that you're a good guy. Promotions, offer new customers discounts to boost growth. Referral programs are really cool, especially when you're in a residential. You want to foster word of mouth with a referral program because your network is your net worth, right? So the more people you know, the better it is. And when you're in residential, it's really cool. You can either give a percentage of discounts, you can give fixed price discounts, you can throw in something for free, like I will clean inside of your appliances for this time for free if this person signs up through you. So stuff like that. And if you're liking the values, then I would appreciate a thumb up. 1 second for you to do that. And thank you so much for doing it. it helps. It boosts my ego knowing that I'm providing a good information, because we're all allies. There's enough business, so we don't have to be in cutting one another's throats and trying to steal business from one another, because the market is expanding. There's enough business. There's more people needing for services. So let's all help one another. And this is me talking generally. Like, let's help one another succeed. Then we all succeed. So then the next would be a self-care and for solo cleaners. And this is super important. That's something that I wanted to take like a one chapter and kind of slow it down and bring your attention, especially if you're a new solo cleaner who's trying to get into a cleaning business in 2024, then you probably don't think about it now. Because when I started, I did not. Number one problem will happen, if not now, depends how old or how young you are, right? The younger you are, the more flexible your muscles, the older you get, the more rigid they become. So physical health, physical taxing, the job cleaning itself is physically very taxing by nature of cleaning. And it's super important for you to maintain good health, regular stretching, exercises to prevent injuries and enhance your flexibility. For example, when I'm brushing my teeth now, I'm starting to stretch my feet like it's 2 minutes, right? Like I've got my brush in one hand and then I'm stretching my left, because like I've got this jacuzzi top and it's got like a chair height, basically jacuzzi top, and then I put my leg, one of them, and then I stretch them and then I switch it. Super important. When I'm meditating, I sit on a butterfly pose so it stretches, and then I've got 7-minute workout every morning that I do. This is about how to start your day, and if you do it 5 days a week, I take weekends off. So this, you will see tremendous benefits from constantly exercising and stretching yourself, especially because you're going into what? Cleaning houses. It's physically taxing. The next will be mental well-being, and then when you do that, you want to start grounding yourself, because one thing unfortunately I can promise you, your mental capabilities will be challenged. You will have to make decisions, you will have to handle sometimes unhappy customers, you will have to reschedulings, there will be frustration, not all will be able to pay in time, your suppliers will miss the deadline. So there's a lot can happen, and having the positive outlook and mental stamina is super important in this case. For example, I meditate. I want to ground myself every morning. If you'd like me to put a video about my morning rituals, I'm happy to do that. But every morning I have 1 hour carved out for myself before my family wakes up. I work on myself physically, mentally, and etc. And I've got the techniques, and it's habit stacking. So you start stacking habit on top of the habit once you have one habit developed. So you either meditate or pray, whichever it is, whichever. Some of my friends pray, some of them meditate. I like to meditate. And affirmations to maintain a positive mindset and manage the stress of running solo business. There are fake studies that a habit takes 14 days or 21 days to develop. That's not quite right. The habit can take from 21 days up to 8-9 months. So remember, it's a consistency which will drill that habit into you, and it becomes now new you 2.0 or 3.0. So, and then once you have one essential habit for like, let's say 5 days a week, then you put another habit on top or before it, and this is how you stack your habit. So next would be the hydration and nutrition. It's super important to, sometimes we forget, it should never be a coffee first drink when you wake up. It should be water first drink when you wake up, because when you went to sleep, your body dehydrated and it just burnt the water. So that's what you need. You need to refuel it. And whenever you work, Coke and other energy drinks are cool, but I really don't consume them. I never go for, rarely you will see me going for Coke or energy drink if I just miss the taste, but they are not good. Look at the amount of sugar they have. Look at the other chemicals that they have. It's just not healthy for you. So water is the best resource that nature has given us. A substitute with tea if you'd like. Sometimes I do that, but water is like number one. It's really, really cool thing. So stay hydrated all the time. And there's like proper eating, which is super important, how you want to eat the food and how you want to drink. There's super cool book. I'm about to put a video about it. It's called The Age-Proof Brain by Mark Milstein. Apparently, after age 40, our brains start shrinking 5% every decade. Unless it's like any other muscle, you work it. But the reason I brought it up, in this book, there's the Dr. Mark Milstein goes about the holistic approach for your body. So what you need to do to make sure your body stays intact. And some of the strategies I've already been doing, some I implemented. Eating proper, drinking proper hydration. And then one of the things that we normally neglect is rest and recovery. You need an adequate, your physical body needs an adequate rest, including quality sleep and taking breaks during the work to prevent burnout. For example, look, I'm wearing Aura Ring. It's super cool. I'm gonna put a referral code for it. They now have a promotion, but it's a sleep tracker. So it goes on your phone and it tracks your sleep. One thing that I've discovered myself, if I go to bed before 10 o'clock, 10 p.m., and then I wake up right throughout the day, you wanna limit the amount of you wake up. But when I go before 10 p.m., I dive into a deep sleep, and deep sleep is restorative sleep. That's the huge sleep. That's like the best sleep, which restores you. Adults at 40 plus, it's suggested 1 hour plus. So if I go later, then my deep sleep, like I kind of like dive in, like dip myself in, but I don't stay there. I'm not as recovered. So that's important. You've got deep sleep, REM sleep, rapid eye movement, and light sleep, right? 3 stages of sleep. And it tracks, like if you consume alcohol, if you're sick, whatever your body is going through, you will see how it affects. Like really good sleep is super huge and super important just to be able to recover. This is when your brain gets rid of the trash. This is when your physical body gets rid of the trash. So when I was young, when I just arrived in my early 20s, I'm like, oh, who needs sleep? I'm like a machine. But it takes a toll on you. I don't want you to go through it. Sleep will make you live longer, happier, more productive, and stay your body a little more healthier for a longer time. So do not neglect the importance of the sleep. And then time management. So time management is something you'll have to learn because you're one person. You're doing everything and you will do everything. I mean, you'll be surprised how much you can do. Time management is super important. It becomes helpful as you start like, hey, how do I manage my time? Implement rules and routines. For example, one of them is Pomodoro. You stay focused on a task for 25 minutes, then take 5-minute break. Then stay on it for 25 minutes, take 5-minute break. You do it 4 times. And when you're doing it, you actually concentrate on a single task. You turn off your phone, distractions. Ideally, don't even leave your phone here. Put it in a different room. There was a study conducted and people noticed the difference. Just mere fact of having phone next to you will get your mind distracted as opposed to having it in a different room. So if you're working on a big project or writing a book or school project, whatnot, keep your phone on somewhere else so you can focus and minimize the number of windows you have open. Another rule that I really love is Dave Allen's 2-minute rule, which goes by, if you're about to do a task and it takes less than 2 minutes, then do it now. Do not procrastinate, because when you procrastinate it next time, you have to remember it takes a mental energy. You have to pull out your phone or whatever, get into that condition, and you just might forget. Something might come up and distract you. You'll just forget. So if the task takes less than 2 minutes, just do it. For example, if I need to jot down or send a message or contact information to someone, I just pull out my phone and I do it. If I need to put my sneakers on because I want to walk, then I put my sneakers on, and now like, oh, I already put my sneakers, let me just go outside. So that's how you're tricking your mind to do the, or like reading a book, right? A first page takes less than 2 minutes to read, and then you read it and you're like, oh, you're in the book. Now you start reading the book. See how you can trick your mind. It's all psychology, right? Psychology is brainwashing ourselves to the point that we believe this is the way. What's the movie where they say this is the way? The Mandalorian. This is the way. So, and then Pomodoro effect. If you did enjoy this video, I'd greatly appreciate like, subscribe, and this is the next video where you will continue crushing your business, and especially if you're looking to scale it to the next level, you do not want to miss this. By the way, there's one more thing you want to do before I let you go, is to recruit potential help to cover you in case you're sick, in case you're on a travel, whatnot, because you have obligation in front of your customers, and word of the mouth travels fast, and trust and word of the mouth in cleaning is huge. So recruit your family members and friends, and that's what I did in the beginning. If I was busy, if I had to take a call, whatnot, I was able to send someone else, and that was okay. I would pay most of the money. In cases, I've paid pretty much everything that account was paying, so I can send someone else to go in and actually execute that job, because now I'm upholding my promise in front of the customer. So instead of looking at one-time job, I'm losing a customer, look at the LTV, which is a lifetime value of the customer. If let's say a residential customer and you service this customer bi-weekly and you get like $100 from the customer once a week, then in profit, then you look at it as like 52 divided 12 is what, $2,600 a year account. So don't look at it just one time. So keep that in mind. Recruit help, like relatives, friends, so they're ready to help you out whenever should you need help. And dive into this video now. Bye.